Gigantopithecus, came over the Asian plain, it's a bipedal hominid. And then at the end, anytime I talk about Bigfoot, it ends up with me just going, please, Joe, can you just say it's maybe a possibility? Remember you one time going, there's nothing out there about
Hunters
Bigfoot.
don't see it. That's why I don't believe in it.
Some hunters do. People that see it are usually loggers, hunters, natives, people that are out in the woods.
There's another problem. You see things at dusk or at dawn. Bears walk on two legs all the time. I have personally watched bears walk on two legs. If I didn't know any better, like it was dusk, I would think it's Bigfoot. But I do think Bigfoot existed. There's some insane number of Native American words. There's a bunch of Native American words for this one animal that's fake, but all the other words they have are for real animals. They don't have like mythical creatures. They don't have a bunch of dragons, but they do have this one giant man thing that definitely existed. Gigantopithecus was a real animal. It was 8 to 10 feet tall, bipedal hominid. It was a huge gorilla-looking primate that died off somewhere around 100,000 years ago, but they don't know really for sure. Either way, anatomically identical human beings have been around for 500,000 plus years, maybe even more. So then we definitely interacted with them, or they were around when we were around.
I think they're still around. I think there's hundreds, maybe thousands of them. I think they're in caves or something.
You know what the problem with that is?
What?
They're too big.
Journal of Zoology this month.
If it's there, could it be a bear? Yeah, American black bear that stands up. First of all, let me tell you something. If you're in the woods in a heightened state, because you're looking around, you don't know what's out there, it's all thick woods, it's weird. Woods are weird. And you see something, you could trick your brain. People see what they want to see. And the problem is you get something into someone's head, a mythological thing. I think the world is way more slippery than we like to think, whether it's a UFO or whether it's Bigfoot. And I think there's states of consciousness that people can achieve during high anxiety levels, during weird states in their life, like near-death experiences, definitely during the use of psychedelic drugs, extreme emotion, and then you see a light across the sky. It might have been just a meteorite, but you're in the wrong headspace. I've interviewed a lot of Bigfoot people. It's a community of people that want to believe something that there's zero evidence for, and they're fucking locked in. It's one of those things where I wish it was real.
The most frustrating part about the Bigfoot subject is you got guys like, pod of apes could like live out here, and guys like me will be like, yeah, this makes good sense. And then they'll get like a Native American to talk about it. It's the magic man of the woods. Disappears. He flies. He can stop the rain. Gosh dang it. We were making real good ground here, making arguments for it to be an ape.
I think the Native Americans are right. I think that's what it is. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's like, let's imagine that states of consciousness can interface with other things that are around us all the time that we don't necessarily see. Now, we know that's true if you take psychedelics. And we know that psychedelics are produced in the brain. I can imagine a moment where you are in such a state that you could see something that you would not be able to see under normal conditions. I'm not married to it, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. If that is what we're seeing with UFOs, if what we're seeing is our future, eventual shape that human beings will take as evolution progresses, we become these genderless, little spindly things with giant heads, flying spaceships with our minds, that kind of makes sense to me. Why wouldn't I be able to also see what we used to be or what we could have been? And maybe it's almost like a ghost. It's like a memory of a different timeline, a different dimension where this thing does exist, comes and goes, because it's not a real material thing. It's a construct of the human psyche. But these people that are seeing it, like they might even literally be seeing footprints. It might exist for brief moments.
Passing in and out of this dimension kind of thing?
There's so many wacky stories about it. So then you have to apply the wacky stories to human psychology and say, okay, people are in a heightened state. They're in the woods. They're alone. They're nervous. Cats out there and fucking bears. So you're kind of freaking out already. You're in this like weird mind state already where it seems like more things are possible out there. There's no city.
Can't call the cops on a Bigfoot.
You got no fucking cell phone signal and you're out there alone. So many possibilities. Scary. It's terrifying. To me, makes sense. Like if there's a mindset that can be achieved, it's a mind state that can be achieved where you interact with things that aren't there all the time, UFOs.
Right.
That would be when it would happen.
There's tons of interesting stories that you'll just read about thing just walking behind the tree, and it's not. But if it was a massive 10-foot thing, probably be able to see it come out on the other side of that tree.
But it could also be black bears. Bears freak you out, man. You see a bear in the wild, it freaks you out. And if you see a bear in between trees, you just convince yourself that it's something, and then your brain plays tricks on you. The memory is a slippery bitch, especially under heightened circumstances like that, like in the woods. Your memory's weird.
And it's more exciting to believe that it's real, so that's what you wanna. I think what I'm holding on to so much is that, like, I think it's so boring if we just know all the stuff on our planet.
I don't think we do.
Way more exciting to think, yeah, there's Bigfoots, and there's...
Yeah, pterodactyls is one of my favorites.
Oh.
Well, you know about that hobbit man that they found on that island of Flores? This is a good one for you. This is a thing that absolutely lived alongside people. They don't know the timeline of this fucker either. And they were little tiny people, 3 foot tall, almost like ape-like creatures.
Like a little baby Bigfoot.
Yeah, like little hobbits. And they lived on this island. And they were like a different branch of the human chain that lived alongside Homo sapien. There's people that have cited these things in other parts of the world still to this day. They still claim that they exist.